To order. Roll call, please.
Chair McNiff,
Here.
Commissioner Banfield, Commissioner Bright,
Here.
Commissioner Fitzgerald,
Here.
Commissioner Hodo, Commissioner Severson,
Here.
Commissioner Zuck, Commissioner Stewart, and ex officio Underhill. You have a quorum.
Thank you. I would entertain a motion to approve the minutes from the last meeting, which was September 10th of 2025.
Move Banfield. Second, right.
Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Next, we'll approve, I would entertain a motion to approve the agenda.
So move Fitzgerald. Second, right.
Any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor of approving the agenda signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Seeing no opposition, the motion is approved. Next, we have public comment on agenda items. Is there any public who would like to comment on agenda items?
Barry Wayne Adams, 622 West Green Street. And this has to deal with your agenda item number 7, because something happened not 2 weeks ago that could upset the apple cart on a lot of your planning that's been going on. And that was the decision by the Michigan Supreme Court to entirely vacate the Court of Appeals decision in the case that was challenging the denial of the ability to go to referendum, and the Supreme Court sent the case back to the Court of Appeals, completely vacating, nullifying the entire decision. None of it was good. And the level of error was so egregious that the Supreme Court issued its decision prior to any briefing or argument by the parties. And in vacating the decision, they also sent it back to the Court of Appeals, saying that you need to follow this one case, Clam Lake. It's called Clam Lake Township, and it deals with the PA 425 transfer agreements. And what the City Council at the meeting of May 1st, 2023, did not seem to appreciate was that it had been contractually mandated in the PA 425 agreements that the decision of the Joint Planning Commission about possible rezoning would be in control of the zoning vote. And when it got to the City Council, they just went ahead and voted on their own, thinking that they are, and they're still trying to make the argument that that the Joint Planning Commission is merely an advisory body, and that the City Council somehow has sovereign powers to make its own discretionary decisions. Well, that is grossly in error, and things are going to be changing. All right, I'll be back.
Thank you, Mr. Adams. Moving on, we have no public hearings. I'm sorry, did you want to speak? Is there anybody else who wants to speak? Okay. So moving on, we have no public hearings. We have no old business. Reports and recommendations under new business. Would you like to introduce?
I would. So tonight we're here to set a public hearing regarding a special land use for 775 Industrial Road. The applicant is Tiger Towing, and there are really kind of two uses, well, almost three uses for the site that they're proposing. Self-storage, kind of a mini storage core, I'm going to say core to the site. A small, like a, what are we calling this?
RV park.
Like yes, thank you. Like it's an RV storage, so outdoor storage for vehicles and such. It could be, it's those kind of things that we're trying to get out of people's driveways. It just, and then the other end of the property will house, for the towing company, house short-term, it's a short-term impound lot for the towing company. So we've got self-storage and the towing company impound lot. The small building on the site will kind of serve to supervise the whole site and manage access control. So on this very small site, there is a lot going on. As I have spelled out in the write-up, the zoning for this parcel is a I-2. It's in the industrial district in town. The self-storage, just as we did, there's self-storage on the north side of industrial also. And just as a side note, those owners have discussed and they're in agreement, there shouldn't be too many in one spot, up to them anyway, is what they're telling me. But the self-storage is a special land use for this district, as is the outdoor storage associated with the main use. So that's what we're here for tonight, is to set the public hearing to give the public opportunity to, chime in on whether or not that special land use should be allowed at hopefully next month's meeting.
Mr. Van,
What, Marcia, how does the city monitor short-term parking in a facility like that? How is the city set up to monitor short-term parking, especially for the towed
The
vehicle?
towed vehicles. So in considering that lot, honestly, I think that I'm more concerned that those vehicles that are coming there are not getting dismantled and not sitting there long-term in a dismantled state, because that becomes something different. Then that becomes more of a junkyard. And the intent of this, they have their main towing lot in Battle Creek. Their goal is to be able to bid for more of the sections of I-94 that the state would allow them to tow vehicles from. So I'm not entirely versed at the legalities of a towing company, but having even a small lot in this area allows them to kind of expand their presence along the interstate corridors.
So you couldn't answer that question. Who monitors the short-term parking?
I don't have a definition.
Your
for them.
office or the police or?
Right. I'm not sure. Honestly, they told me it was short-term parking, and I kind of took that as, not a month, like they might be there for a few days a week or something, right?
but if somebody abandons their car on I-94 and never comes to pick it up, it becomes a long-term parking situation.
till the TR 52 is done, and then they have a public auction, which has to be posted. They typically 6 months, every 6 months to a year. So it does wind up being long-term parking.
We allowed the police, the joint police area, the three, county and state and city.
Merlac.
Yeah, we allowed that, for storage of those kind of vehicles, so.
Do you want me to check to see?
I just want to make sure that it's clear in our ordinance
Yeah,
how that's monitored and how long it's specifically.
yeah,
If they want a special use, then specific time
Right.
period. And then also for screening, that's a separate question.
so I think it would behoove us to define that as the length of time. And I can come or provide some additional information, maybe from the Merlac project as to like how long they store. Would that be helpful?
Sure.
Yeah, but, and also who will oversee it? Who's
And
gonna?
yeah, and how, so the
How is
the tricky
enforcement gonna
thing-
happen?
Yeah, the tricky thing is, if we screen it appropriately, I won't see it, right? And then I would pose the question, does it matter?
Yeah, it matters. If the ordinance doesn't allow it, it matters whether or not it's screened or not. I mean, if, part of monitoring is having the ability to go on site to monitor. So, that needs, it would seem to me that would need to be in there. Because they're basically asking for something short-term, which is their interpretation of short-term. And then we need to define what short-term is. So.
Yeah,
It's a great point because vehicles are towed incident to arrest, they're towed by
Yeah.
abandonment, they're towed from accidents, and those are the ones that become long-term junk vehicles.
Yeah.
And if you run by other tow yards, I mean, you get a good sense of what this will turn in, what this potentially could turn into in
right.
a short time.
Accident, if you have vehicles that are involved in an accident, then you might have fluids and
Exactly.
environmental concerns.
Yeah.
The other thing I have brought up with them, that I didn't include as part of this, but the fire department, brought up the concern of electric vehicles. And there is a whole, a series of information that we provided to them from the fire department about EV storage. I know that there's like a 50-foot dimension that, they would have to, kind of accommodate if they were to bring in an electric vehicle, they're not supposed to store something else within 50 feet of it. But that's part of,
They catch on fire.
there's a potential.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're extremely difficult to put out.
Yeah.
So, the owners, have taken multiple classes on storage of EVs and what the hazards are. And they were very well versed in what that meant for storage. Made me feel better. But, I think that on the plans, which I don't know if it was in this set, but, there's, I think there was an offset line or something for that kind of 50-foot radius that they would have to, plan for.
Well, we don't, will we have, we're gonna have a hearing.
Yep.
And then will we be voting on the special land use that night?
That would be, the
Okay,
intent.
well then, it needs to be clear, I think, to be able to vote on it.
Yeah,
For those, at least those two things that I think. Because the reason you get a special land use is because you want to put something where it wasn't planned to be, or wasn't master planned to be
so
for a
the,
reason.
And
Yeah.
just in my experience, Marcia, I would
Mhm.
make it very black. And I agree 100% with Mr. Fitzgerald. I would make it 100% black and white what the rules are, because they will push the line.
I don't think it is clear in our ordinance, like short, we don't really have a designation for
Defined.
short-term or long-term
Definition.
storage, right?
Well, then it needs to be included in the,
So we need to define that.
We just redid everything. You'd think we would have thought of that.
We'll be going through those ordinances again.
I think the comment on environmental containment or just thoughts was a good one as well. I think, I can't, this is kind of small, but I think that area where the short-term storage is designated as concrete, not gravel. And then we should think about runoff, especially if it's, damaged vehicles, et
Yeah.
cetera. What are the plans to contain, capture, and that kind of stuff?
I would agree.
That whole area down there on the north side of the tracks where Stovers used to be, that was called long-term storage of junk. And oil and other products, so. And I think that that's turned that particular area into a non-built area, so we don't want that anymore.
So this is a brownfield site. It is a brownfield site. So they have a plan for
Mitigation.
mitigation. It's like basically they can't remove soil from the site and it needs to be capped and all this kind of stuff, right?
What happens to the runoff, though?
Right. And then they have,
To, right, add to anything, of course, but.
yeah, so they, the north side of the property, they have their retention ponds in order to to keep the water on site.
There's a reason it shouldn't be downtown.
Okay.
Yeah, so maybe let them know they need to come prepared.
Yeah. Oh, well, so just so that I make sure to prepare them accordingly. So my short list, we need to make sure that we have a clear definition of the length of time that the vehicles will be allowed to be on site. And what that process looks like, if they're, are they clearing this thing out every week or is it, they track one at a time? It would be kind of good to know like, right, what that process looks like, right? And then what else that they need to come with?
Well, if they're
Not seeing.
towing vehicles from accident sites, what are their containment plans for?
Yes, okay, yeah, the containment, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
I would think more than normal parking lot runoff requirements. If we expect spillage or something,
right.
is there a plan for it?
Because a detention or a retention area is gonna still allow the water to perk through.
Yep.
Whereas a, full retention area out of concrete, that holds it all together. And then they can get it out of there
Manage it, yeah.
and then screen.
And then screening.
And I think that the height of the screening is I know this is. I have to take my glasses off to read this too. So they have 10-foot fence. They were gonna use that white plastic 10-foot tall fence around the two ends. And then I think that they had the buildings kind of block the center, but the north side of the retention area was chain link, or I can't remember. It's open. It was not opaque. So whatever that.
And that's connected to what zone?
I-2,
I2.
yes. General industrial.
So there's no screening is required there between those two.
Correct. Yes, the storage units do not require screening.
Correct.
The outdoor storage ends do.
Okay.
It-
Yeah. Any further discussion?
The only thing that came to my mind, and it's probably not requirement more than just question, which is if some of the screening could be greenery rather than just plastic, opaque fencing.
Yeah.
I think that there is there's landscape requirement, but I think from a security perspective,
Yeah, probably not solely.
Yeah.
But the greening in front of.
Yeah.
The more, let's say, mechanical
mhm,
screening or protection.
I have a motion to set the public hearing for 775 Industrial Road Special Land Use Hearing for next month, which is the 12th of November.
Move Banfield.
Support Fitzgerald.
I think we've already had discussion, but is there any additional discussion? All those in favor of setting that public hearing signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Same sign. Motion carries. Public comment on non-agenda items. Do we have any public comment on non-agenda items? Mr. Adams?
Ray Wayne Adams again, 622 West Green. Again, the state budget was just voted in. And noticeably, there is now an effort, after listening to the outcry of people across the state, there's now an effort to dismantle the money laundering system that was created to circumvent the prohibitions of Article 9, Section 18 of the Michigan Constitution, which prohibits the use of public funds for private gain. And noticeably in the budget, the funding for the SOAR fund, SOAR fund, was eliminated. And that is the head of the snake. SOAR to Michigan Strategic Fund to MEDC, Michigan Economic Development Corporation, and then MEDC distributed it around the state to all these different economic development associations, of which MEDA is the one here. But with SOAR being cut off, it will eliminate the what is really a subsidy industry. The performance of MEDC has been noticeably dismal. They throw a lot of money around, but less than half of the projects that they try to get started ever really take hold. So it's a lot of pouring money down the rabbit hole, and the people of Michigan are getting fed up with it. And they talked to people in Lansing, and Representative Cara, as part of the Oversight Committee on Corporate Subsidy of the state legislature, held hearings, particularly about the different mega sites here up in Big Rapids, the semiconductor plant over in the Flint area, which are all seem to be floundering, which will be a good thing, because we need to have local government that is not that doesn't have its tin cup out for big corporate grants and subsidies. And there's nothing wrong with standing on your own 2 feet and not being dysfunctionally codependent on the corporate economy. And with the potential catastrophic response that may happen from all this tariff stuff, we may have to just rely on themselves.
Board reports. Board reports?
Not for me.
We have a
Commissioner Banfield?
We have a joint planning commission meeting next Tuesday, 14th, and to deal with the property in front of the old Kmart building. For those of you who haven't been involved, we've scheduled 2 joint planning commission meetings, both of which none of the members showed. So we had to cancel meetings because we didn't have one. And Marcia has been diligently working to get communication restored, and I'll let you say whatever you'd like to say, but I think you're doing a great job.
Thank you. I appreciate that. So it is a very good thing that it seems that we are all kind of found a path forward. And I'm eager to be able to move forward the project that is waiting to go to Joint Planning Commission. We have another project that is also in the wings and also needs hopefully to get on the agenda for November Joint Planning Commission. And so we have a lot of stuff coming, and this relationship is really important.
The township has hired a consulting company to take care of their zoning administration as well as review of potential projects. And so I just, Marcia got to meet Shelley. Lloyd from there lives in Athens, but yeah, I don't know, does she have 5 or 6 municipalities that she does?
I think it might be more than that.
So she's doing a yeoman's job. But that's what their company does, is offers consulting. And I've met her because of other dealings as a consultant in Marshall Township. She really does a good job. She just only has a certain amount of time. That big project coming up is going to take a lot of time. That's it.
Awesome. Anything? Nothing. And I have nothing.
Can I say one more thing?
Yes.
I just want to welcome Carl.
Thank you very much. Glad to be here.
You told him about going to play.
Going what?
You told him about going.
Oh, I'm still in the training.
Oh, I
period.
thought your first meeting was last month. Otherwise I would have, thank you. I appreciate that.
Yes. We're glad to have you.
We are. Anything else? All right. I feel like we need a motion to adjourn.
Move to adjourn.
Second, right.
Any objection? Seeing none, we are adjourned.